Welcome to CasualBCH. In this episode, we talked about prediction markets and a little bit of gaming. So my other thing was kind of going back to the previous episodes with the prediction markets.
Yep.
So it basically boils down to betting, gambling style, if you just want to really condense it down to what it is. So how is crypto right now not a prediction market?
Crypto in general?
Yeah, because everybody, this is, I definitely don't agree, but the market has decided in terms of BTC. So
short term, sure.
Yeah, short term. So isn't that a prediction market, though, in its own sense? It's just the market itself?
I was in a Twitter battle yesterday with some BTC maximalist, and yeah, dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And he said he posted as maxis always do, they post the chart, right? So it's like the market has spoken, BCH is down whatever versus BTC, the market has spoken. And it's like, yeah, sure, for today. But if you zoom out, the global economy that's not using crypto does over 500,000 transactions per second. So the market's spoken, I guess, because it's not happening on Lightning, right? So, I don't believe that the market has spoken as far as long term. I guess what do you mean as far as prediction markets, right? I think it's all time frames. It's not. It's not
prediction market different because it's going to be a small little bubble saying, "Hey, I vote this." No.
So something like a presidential election, say. So
yep.
That's a common example they use for prediction markets.
Yep.
So the crypto market itself never ends. So in that sense, you could say it's not the same as prediction market because it doesn't have an end. I'm not seeing. So is a prediction market only really exciting in the sense of everybody's using it?
A prediction market,
that presidential race, it's like having an active survey the entire time.
But it has that.
Yes, finality. So there's something called the wisdom of crowds, right? So if you get a room of people together, and let's say a stadium full of people together, and you bring a cow into the middle of the room, and you ask people to guess how much you think that cow weighs. People, have vastly different ideas about how much a side of beef weighs, and how, even what 1 gram looks like or 1 pound looks like. People have all these various different ideas. But there are also going to be some people in that group who have an incredibly in-depth knowledge of that specific thing because they work at a butcher, or they raise cattle, or deal with weights or whatever, right? So when you distill all that information down, it actually becomes relatively accurate. On general topics. Obviously, if we're talking about, atomic weight and why do black holes spit out stardust, etc., it's a different thing. But we're talking general knowledge, wisdom of crowds. So prediction markets are also really interesting because depending on the topic, you can actually get some really good insight into the future of a specific thing based on people who are willing to bet a certain amount of money on this thing, which has a final point versus crypto or the stock market, etc., right? It just goes up, down, forever. But if you're taking, again, the presidential election as an example, people who spend a lot of time research topics would be willing to spend bet money on the outcome of a certain thing, and they may not necessarily be wrong, but they may not necessarily be right, but it's interesting. The thing about prediction markets is, basically you are gambling on a topic that hopefully you have knowledge about, and that's the same as the stock market. But the difference is going to be manipulation. So in the stock market, you can front run, you can use dark pools, the number of milliseconds of between your computer and the terminal and the stock market, all of these things come into play. It's not really fair, I would say. But with a prediction market, depending on the topic, obviously, like if you're betting on when will Queen Elizabeth die, and you bet all of your money and then you assassinate her, that's obviously you've
One way to do
you've you've put your thumb on the scale, right? But if you're betting on the outcome of presidential election, various things, right, that are not as easily to manipulate, it becomes more of a game of skill than it is of chance, which may be appealing for some people who have knowledge, but it is certainly gambling. I'm not going to say that it isn't. Sorry, what was the original question?
So wait, first,
Yeah.
prediction markets would be more for general and less for price go up, price go down?
Well, it can be
You can
both.
also do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no limit as long as you have some reasonable oracle for the outcome, and which is really the challenge, is having oracles that are honest and trustworthy. So if you're talking about what's the weather going to be like tomorrow, for example, you could have a prediction market on that, and then if the oracles gather information from all of the major global weather websites, then it's fairly honest and trustworthy, right? I don't think it's a particularly exciting or interesting prediction market, but it is something that somebody could create. But also the way that prediction markets can be set up, and Jason Dreisner talked about it in previous maybe network discussions, or I don't know, everything blends together, but go check it out. I'll try and find it, put the link in the description below. The way you can set up oracles can also be profitable. So if you are an oracle and you provide consistent, correct information, your trustworthy score goes up, and then people are more likely to participate in your prediction market. And then if you are dishonest as an oracle, then your score goes down. You don't make any money, et cetera, et cetera. So you're incentivized to provide accurate information that can be used in a prediction market. But yeah, prediction markets are not tied to the price of crypto. A prediction market can be literally anything. How long will the boxing match go tomorrow? How many children will I have before I die? Whatever. You can make a prediction market about anything. Will this plane crash? What day will the war end? Who will get arrested next, right? You can make prediction markets about literally anything.
I don't know. My initial thoughts are just that since it's purely based on money, it's much more easily corrupted and less fair, because only those that can monetarily afford to do the gambling can participate, and they have more weight.
No.
How so?
No. It can be heavily skewed, right? So if more people, let's arbitrary topic. So let's say something that's not super important.
Tornadoes.
Okay.
When's the next tornado coming?
How many? Sure. When will the next tornado come through? And let's say somebody with $1 billion puts, $1 billion on March 3rd or whatever. That will probably skew the payout, right? But you can absolutely take the other side. You don't need to put $3 billion into it. You can put 5 cents into it. And if your date is not selected, if you're lucky and the tornado kills all those people on the day, yeah, you're the winner, right? So it has nothing to do with being oppressed by rich people. They lose more than you do. You gain substantially, right? It's not at all the outcome decides the winner, not who puts the most money on either side.
No, I understand that. It feels like it's the wisdom of crowds thing, but it's
right.
It's fighting against that because of the money side. So if the wisdom of crowds is more people involved, in theory, wouldn't you want to take the money out of it?
So thinking more presidential election.
Yep.
Yeah, if you could only vote for an election if you paid money into it, you're not gaining.
Prediction markets have nothing to do with that, though.
No, I'm just saying something like you think states where it's like there's going to be winner A or B. Right now it's like, well, it's going to be A. There's really no point in voting B.
Right.
kind of situation. So it's like, well, the rich are going to vote for A because they're trying to play that money thing, yada, yada, yada. Poor people want to vote A because they're going to benefit anybody who votes B.
Well, if you go back to 2016, everybody was predicting that Hillary was going to win. I mean, whether you like either candidate or not doesn't matter. Like the narrative at the time was that Hillary was a shoo-in, right? And that's not what ended up playing out. You can talk about the corruption of politics and whether or not cheating happened and scales were tipped or whatever. You could say the same about the 2020 or whatever the last election was as well. You can argue that what either election was stolen and a scam and et cetera, and you may be correct, but that has nothing to do with the prediction market. If you happen to choose the winning side.
Couldn't the prediction market be used as a tool in that case for people to try and skew things?
Sure, but it already is.
That's kind of where like the wisdom of crowds thing I wonder about, because like if the prediction market is based off of like the amount of money involved has a big impact on a part of it.
Sure.
That's going to potentially skew some people's opinions just based off the money involved, even if they're not participating.
Correct. And if you happen to be an expert on whatever topic and you can see the clear path that the crowd is wrong or the money is on the wrong side, then you can get set for life based on your knowledge. Because if it's not an arbitrary thing, I mean, a presidential election is so complicated and there's so much money involved, and the electoral college and all of these things. I don't think it's a good example. I think something like a tornado is a much better example as far as like a fair prediction market, because that's not something. I mean, maybe there are weather lasers that can make tornadoes, I don't know, but generally speaking, the consensus among humans is that we don't have the ability to make tornadoes as it is. But if tornado markets become huge prediction markets, then a lot of money would flow into the creation of the tornado laser. So it could really spur technology growth.
Looking for the
good. Right.
Okay. So here's an example.
Yep.
If there was a prediction market pre BCH fork, isn't that a perfect example of, in theory? So even earlier you mentioned the one guy on the Badger video mentioned that there's all these big blockers everywhere. Potentially insinuates, especially with the fact that miners were a majority for big blocks, that there was a massive amount of big blockers. So if there was a prediction market, that could have been evidence, but may have had zero impact on what actually happened. And
correct.
If there was more money involved on the big block side for the prediction market, that would have just incentivized the people to make sure the small block side won, because they would have got a bigger payout then, right?
Sure, but it all depends on how much money we're talking about, and it also depends on a lot of social issues and people who think that BTC is going to die now because the future of the project can already bet on that outcome. You can short BTC.
Isn't the prediction markets a big thing that they talk about? Is so like the fork was kind of like a presidential election, you could say. There was an end date kind of within a couple months type thing after the fork of whether it's going to succeed or not.
I would say no, because they're both still running.
True, but one becomes the majority. Like they weren't going to stay 50-50 the whole time.
They never were 50-50.
Exactly. So there was an evident winner of that battle.
Yeah, but this is but I mean, preaching to the choir here, but the battle was lost before any shots were fired, because exchanges assigned the ticker BTC to the small blockers, right? So they were the incumbent. It was decided by a group of people. If you look at the other BCH forks, most of the exchanges labeled them BCH SV and BCH ABC, right? There was no BCH. There was no BCH ticker. There was 2 new tickers that were fighting to get the BCH ticker. That didn't happen with the big small fork, right?
Right. So that's where the prediction market feels like it would have been kind of useless anyways.
Useless for what?
For
I mean,
predicting the outcome of who is going to win that fork.
yeah, but the outcome is the point of a prediction market isn't to predict the future. The point of a prediction market is to make money off of your prediction.
Based off your knowledge. So that's where coming
Based off of
knowledge of, do you know how much a cow weighs? Do you know the weather,
right,
weather
right,
currents, heat versus cold, and how
right,
it makes a tornado?
Right.
right.
And in this case, it would have been which side of the argument's going to win, and
Win what?
win the
Win the
BTC
ticker?
win the
That was
majority
decided before.
price.
That was, I mean, if a prediction market had happened before the split, I would have bet on BTC to win the ticker because they were already assigned the ticker, right? If the prediction market was to decide which project will be Bitcoin after the fork, that's up for debate, right?
So just like focusing on price then, because that's kind of like
Sure.
the winner, you could say. So that's what the prediction market would have been for, is which one's going to have a higher
Not
price.
necessarily. There could have been multiple prediction markets for different aspects, right?
But just for that one.
But sure, but at the same time, like, you don't need a prediction market to make money off of that. All you need to do is buy the winner. So I think for the use of for the case of a prediction market connected to crypto, you don't need a prediction market. You can just buy or sell or short or long, whatever it is you think. I don't think it's particularly useful in the case of the success of a crypto project.
That's what I
I think it's much more useful.
Right. I was just
Yeah,
looking at it from a view of like, this is a question that we're trying to figure out of which one's going to have the higher price. And the prediction market, I just don't see how it would help.
It wouldn't. That's your answer.
So,
Yeah,
okay.
I
So
don't think
it's
it would.
more-
I don't
it's
think it
more
would
other
help.
facts then.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah,
not for crypto betting.
But you
Right.
can
That's
also use it
BCH
for that.
There's yes, bchbull.com. Check it out. They're not a sponsor.
I've just
Yeah,
seen price
I
for crypto used in a lot of examples and other people talking about prediction markets.
it's something you can do, right? But it's just like NFTs are not about monkey pictures. NFTs have infinite uses beyond monkey pictures. Monkey pictures are just easy. And prediction markets are the same. Like you can set up a prediction market with anything you can imagine. It doesn't have to be about the price of A or B. It can be about literally anything you want. The gender of my future child. No more gender reveal parties. Do a prediction market. And it can be structured in all different kinds of ways where the price changes over time or whatever. It's a whole new way of using BCH to do something that you want to do. You can gamble on a fight. You can gamble on your Magic the Gathering tournament. You can, whatever it is you want to do, you can create a prediction market and put your money. I mean, on the one hand, it's like, oh, that's a scam and whatever. But any investment is the same thing, is right. You put your money into the thing with the hope that it goes up in the future. That's all basically the heart of capitalism is you hope that you have more money tomorrow than you did today. And this is just another way of doing that. And it can be just a silly gamble as well. Like what number will my dice roll to? 20. Okay, I win. You can do that if you want to. It can be as silly or as complex or serious as you want it to be.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of potential.
I could see it definitely being useful in certain niche cases. I don't really see, there's nothing that makes me excited about it.
No, it's not about a niche case. It's people want to make money, right? That's the case, is people want to get rich quick and they're willing to gamble to do so.
Oh no, it'll definitely increase usage because people will want to use it. I just don't really see it being like, I don't know, I don't see it being like hyper popular personally, because at the end of the day you have to have money to use it. And most people, I don't think, are going to want to gamble.
I don't know. Gambling's a really popular thing.
It is, and it's like these big whales that are out there will probably use it a lot. But I just, if you want the wisdom of crowd, you don't want the whales.
There's also a lot of poor people who gamble their last $20 and hoping to make another 20 so they can buy another case of beer.
I don't see much wisdom.
Gambling addiction is a bad thing, but at the same time, if you look at anyone who's investing in anything, they're attempting to make money using their knowledge, right? Whether it's they think they have a magic monkey paw that gives them the correct numbers, or they actually have science backing up their understanding of we need this material to make the next generation chips, therefore I'm going to buy stock in this company, right? Everybody's gambling who's investing.
Really, a prediction market is less risky than most options right now in crypto.
Right.
Because you can on things you know.
Right, exactly. And so that's why I think it's exciting. If you look at the stock market, it's incredibly difficult to get rich without some kind of insider knowledge. And of course, people, insider knowledge is illegal and don't do that. Oh, you work for this company and therefore you're not allowed to, blah, 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 blah. Corruption, etc., manipulation is rampant. But with a prediction market, you can have a bet on something is a sure thing and that other people don't know. And it doesn't matter what that is, right? If there's enough people willing to take the bet, you have an opportunity to make money off of your knowledge based on something that's provable and not easy manipulatable, not easily manipulated. There we go. Me English good, fail, no.
So would almost the GameStop situation be like a very bad example of wisdom of crowds? One person goes on Reddit, starts posting about buying GameStop stock, and all of a sudden it gets just a gigantic following them. And then even though it might maybe fundamental wise shouldn't be getting a high price, it now is because everybody's piling into it.
Yeah, but again, you're talking about the stock market and something that's easy to manipulate, right? So you're talking about
less price go up.
Right.
More rigid examples, sure.
Yeah, think more
But
rigid
like
examples. GameStop.
A presidential
I wouldn't even use
would be corrupted.
Which is why think tornado.
Not right. Think tornado. Think orange harvest. Think.
How many watermelon are we getting? How many?
Right.
When's the snow gonna fall first?
Not necessarily random acts. It could also be who's going to win American Idol. I think Polymarket. I don't know if you guys have looked into that at all.
No.
I think it's, I don't know, Polymarket. I think it's on Ethereum, but it sounds like it's on Polygon. Polymarket is already doing something like that. You can basically bet on anything.
Well, I've seen multiple prediction markets already running on other chains.
Yep.
And yeah, like presidential elections were things that were on it. And
sure,
if you
but you don't have to take that bet if you want to.
No, but it's I think of all these different ways it could be attacked in the future, and just to like make money off the other side, even if it's not the correct answer, because money has a huge impact on it. Yes,
that's exactly right. So don't take those bets.
So I'm slow in this regard. I think I need to see other examples of things that would actually be useful.
You're thinking huge, right? You're thinking like, will the next SpaceX rocket blow up? And then will the next SpaceX rocket blow up? And then there's like a $700 billion bet on it. Well, then of course somebody's going to sabotage it, right? But if you're talking about like how many carrots are in this bucket and there's a 20-cent bet, right? These are probably not going to be manipulated, especially if the person who has the bucket is a vetted oracle, right? You're thinking these giant things that can and will be corrupted because that's human nature, versus how much money will the next Marvel movie make, right? It's like if people are betting 1,000, like the maximum bet right now is $3,000. Well, Marvel's not gonna or Disney's not gonna throw the towel in for $3,000, right? When is the next Metallica album going to be released? Metallica is not going to change their release schedule based on a $300 bet. But absolutely, if it gets to the point where you're talking about $1 billion bet on a certain outcome, then people will try to ensure that A or B happens. Looking at Polymarket right now, a lot of the top ones are about the next presidential elixir, the next presidential elixir. Will Biden be impeached? Will Trump and Biden both win the nomination? Is Obama queer? These are the top markets that are out right now. I don't know how I guess you'd have to get Obama to come out to win that one, but
which
people will bet on literally
enough.
Right,
big enough money,
right? Exactly. And so you're never going to escape corruption. It's human nature to try to cheat. There's going to be a certain percentage of assholes in everything, and that includes the BCH community as well. There's going to be a percentage of toxic assholes which just shouldn't be out in front. And so that is up to us to make sure that if we are going to be putting people on stage, we're going to be putting people in podcasts, et cetera, as representatives of us as a community, that we put out people who are sane and reasonable and able to talk with knowledge and compassion and try to see both sides, but at the same time be confident and strong in their answers because they're true, to say what's right and what's real, versus just putting people out there who are like, fuck BTC, you guys are scammers, it's not going to look good for us. But as far as prediction markets, I think you need to think much smaller. Assassination isn't worth it.
Yeah, I have nothing against prediction markets. It's usage at the end of the day, which is good. It's just, I think I was not sold, but my impression from other things I've seen in the past was that it was supposed to be like this game-changing thing. And I just don't really see that based off of that discussion. And I am much more bullish on BCH becoming a global payment system where everybody's using it. And I feel like that would completely destroy a prediction market in terms of usefulness and usage. And even like gaming is way more important in my mind.
But what's wrong with having a little bit of everything?
Oh no, you can have everything. That's fine. It's just prediction markets, I feel like, are getting a decent amount of attention in certain niches. And a lot of people are excited about it. And I'm not on the wagon.
So, random example, TV shows like Survivor or whatever those what's are called.
Yeah.
Don't watch. My mother
reality TV
says, hey, this is your person and this is your husband's person. I signed you up. Do you want to be in our Facebook group? The prize pool is $500. And I'm like, no, I don't do that shit. But so she wants me to join all her old people group, blah, blah, blah.
It would get usage. I'm not denying that. So I'm probably understating or under predicting what usage it would get. I will concede that.
You're under predicting the prediction market?
Sure.
Hey. Okay, a new prediction market. When will Sayoshi fall in love with prediction markets? Is it before 2025 or after 2025? Contact me. No, please don't. I'm not setting that up. Yeah, there's different levels here.
Before it ends.
There's multiple different levels here, right? So, prediction market can be a valuable tool for collective wisdom, the wisdom of crowds, if it's not being corrupted, right? And at some point, there are stakes high enough that it would be corrupted, right? So not every prediction market is going to be worth corrupting. And there is some valuable information that you could get from a prediction market as far as the outcome of a potential future scenario, assuming that it's not getting corrupted. So it's, I wouldn't bet my life on a prediction market that predicts that, Biden will die tomorrow or whatever. Like I wouldn't bet my life on something like that. But you could use it as another little piece of information to gather and add to your bucket of information, which will help you make a decision for something else because of the wisdom of crowds. That's one level of things. The other level is, of course, degenerate gambling, right? You can have all of your fun gambling on anything that you can imagine, which member of BTS is going to die first, or whatever, right? You can, whatever it is you want, you can set up a prediction market. And so that's a completely different level of use. And I think it's like a game for some people, right?
I think the degenerate gambling 100% is a game. It will have usage. I don't think it's going to be game changing, but I could be wrong. But the other side of it, of like potentially getting
people murdered,
that'll be part of it if the stakes are high enough, I guess. But trying to figure out like specific information from the crowd, I feel like this with the wisdom of crowds thing, I just feel like there's other use cases that are better than what a prediction market would give.
Well, it's about incentives, right? So
true.
How do you get people how do you get people to participate in your study of whatever, right? So if you have a specific interest in like which product do you think is going to be more popular, right? That's market research. People are incentivized to participate because they have a chance to win money if their hunch is correct. And how do you accurately predict which of these two products is going to be more successful? Well, that's a kind of market research, right? You're paying people, or you're incentivizing people to give you market research for free. Yeah, I think there's a lot of different possible use cases. I don't think it's. I agree. I mean, I want gaming to be a bigger thing, but the thing about gaming is that it's completely connected to the playability and joy of the particular game. And all of the NFT games I've played so far have been fine, but nothing has been inspiring to make me want to come back. Like if I'm avoiding playing Starfield, but I really want to. But if Starfield, a massive AAA game included NFTs, it would absolutely break open the NFT market for the world and would create a whole new economy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But until we get some amazing game that everyone wants to play, that isn't just pay to earn like Axie Infinity or whatever, I don't think gaming is going to have as big an impact as quickly as I think prediction markets in the short term.
I'd probably concede that. I think gaming is going to take... prediction markets could come very quickly. I mean, they already exist on other chains.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And people use versions of it all in everyday life, whether they're in gaming and betting on their games and, you're going to die in hardcore, who's going to win this match, blah, 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 versus TV shows or who's going to win the horse race, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Fantasy league sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
It's just merging it into this ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So yeah, I think if Bethesda comes out with Fallout 5 and it includes NFTs on cash tokens, that would absolutely be game changer, killer app, blow other cryptos out of the water, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The chances of that happening are incredibly small. Will a prediction market be available the next 2 years in BCH? Yes. that's the difference there.
Yep.
I don't see a major game coming out that is fun and also not just pay to earn or microtransaction hell that involves NFTs anytime soon. Sadly. Get on it, guys.
Atlas Unbound.
Chop, chop.
I was going to say, you just dissed you so hard.
Yeah, I've played your game
and
its very... It is very limited ability, and I would not put it in my top 10 games of all time. I'm sorry.
I'm so disappointed.
But yeah, to be fair, I started playing Ocarina of Time for the first time. I basically, I had a Nintendo 64 when they came out, but life took a different direction, and I that was probably my least gamey time of my life for various reasons, but that I won't go into here. But I did not really play much in the 64 era, so I missed what people say is the best Zelda of all time, et cetera, et cetera. And I tried playing it recently, and oh my god, the controls are so terrible. Just
a lot of the N64 games are
so frustrating.
A little hard to go back to, which is kind of funny.
Yeah,
our son is playing it quite heavily.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's all Banjo-Kazooie right now.
Well, that's fair enough, but just I can't walk in a straight line. It just drifts all over the place, and it's just like, oh god, I can't look around easily. Like, oh, you guys, now that I play modern games, going back to stuff like that is a bit difficult.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, that's
Goldeneye?
A different. Oh, for sure, yes.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, go back to that.
But I was never good at it. I bought they released something for the Wii as well. It was like basically a remake of GoldenEye for the Wii, and I thought it would be fun to play with some people locally, and so I bought it on Yahoo Auctions, and god, it's clunky. I can't play this, especially on the Wii controller.
I am Bitcoin, I'm not nervous. I'm the tech that changes what society is. I am money, I create freedom, and I'm limited, so I know what my worth is. I don't ask how high the fee is. I don't open, verifiable blockchain. Hashes and transactions I find in my process. I verify what I'm handed, I trust what's commanded. But under the surface, I feel berserk like a keyboard warrior that's suddenly wordless. Under the surface, was Satoshi ever like, yo, I don't wanna fight big banks. Under the surface, I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can be of service. A bug or a hack, a line in the stack that breaks the camel's back. What breaks the camel's back? It's both of the fees that'll never stop. Whoa. Users that'll leave till we just go bump. Whoa. Give it to BCH, their blocks got bigger, and all we got was this damn ticker. Who am I if I can't scale with the bull? If I fall to payments that are slow, and they just won't go. Whoa. Fees that'll grow till it's ready to blow. Whoa. Give it to Satoshi, blockchain is stronger. See the users throw away the dollar. Who am I if I can't verify it at all? If I falter under the surface, I hide my nerves and it worsens. I worry a central chain will hurt us. Under the surface, the miners will leave. They need fees, lighting will kill this. Under the surface, I think about the white paper. Can we somehow preserve it? Line up Maxis, yo, electronic gold blow. Who can try to stop it tumbling? We're on it goes. But wait, if I could scale to support the whole world's transactions, would that free some room up for more developmentation or simple uses? Instead we measure this growing blockchain. Keeps growing, keep going, 'cause all we see is rising of the fees that'll never stop. Whoa. Users that'll leave till we just go pop. Whoa. BCH is Bitcoin, the original purpose. See why it can sustain all the miners' income. Watch as Satoshi's design bends but never breaks. No mistakes, just fees that are low and sustainable. Whoa. Blocks that can grow, 'cause we're ready to go. Whoa. Come to Bitcoin Cash and never wonder when Blockstream's gonna pull you under. What's the point if not world currency? Low fees, big blocks, no mistakes, no pressure.
Solidity's a scam. Put that in your podcast.
Right at the end.
I really worry that people are going to take some of the sarcastic things I say out of context and be like, see, cheap lightning thinks that Hitler was great.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. Like, wait, what?